Hey Majors, welcome to today's video. Today, with the release of Ravnica Remastered, I thought it'd be a good idea to let you know what the top 10 current most expensive cards are. Now, with the set coming out a few days ago on the 12th, pre-order prices have calmed down a bit, so now the market is settled a little bit, so we can have a look at what those top card prices are that you'll be able to pull in your booster packs. Now, what I'm going for is the basic versions in these, because there is different versions in these. You've got full art, you've got so many different variations of one single card that the prices vary on those completely. But these are the basic cards that if you put in your draft booster, you're more likely to pull, and that is, that and the set boosters is what obviously most people buy, not like the collector boosters. So without further ado, let's take a look at the top 10 most expensive cards. So in these cards, the prices are from my sponsors, Cardmarket. They will, if you want to get any of these cards in paper, you can go and check them out. But in this top 10 list, we have 6 mythics, 4 rares, and we have 1 upgraded card. Now, I don't like cards getting upgraded, and I'm sure you don't as well. Unfortunately, we have a rare in here that was upgraded to mythic, but that is just something that occasionally they do. So, coming in at number 10 is Liliana Dreadhorde General, a really good Planeswalker. It comes in at £7.74. Whenever a creature you control dies, you get to draw a card. It's a great static ability on this. It can make a defense as well, +1, putting a 2/2 zombie in there. Each player sacks 2 creatures. Not too bad if you're in some kind of sack deck with this card. Liliana Dreadhorde General is a really good Planeswalker and comes in with Loyalty 6, which is super strong. Number 9 at $7.95 is a mythic rare again. It's a big dragon, 6/6, Upvara Hellkite. Big flying 6/6. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, create a 6/6 red dragon creature token with flying. That is a very powerful effect. It does cost 8 mana, of course, so, it's a lot of mana. But in Commander, especially, that is easy to play, ramping out a lot easier than any type of format. And then you get the benefit of this. It's a great card and seen in a lot of dragon decks, and it can spawn out multiple dragons. And if you've got some kind of multiplier in there, like a doubling season or anything like that, then you're making multiple dragons. At number 8 is our first rare, and it's one of the lands, Steam Vent, 8/16, very good price. The shock lands are very good. They come in, you can pay that amount of life, and then it will come in untapped. It also comes in as obviously the colours that it is. So Steam Vent is island or mountain. So if you're playing fetchable lands, the shock lands are very good because you can go and fetch for these and get them into your deck. And lands are very good. So these are generally, lower as they are. There's a few of these in the list. This is the lowest price one there. Hallowed Fountain didn't actually make it into the list, which is a slight little teaser there for you. So these are a good time possibly to pick up these shock lands. We then have coming in at number 7 at 8/17, another mythic rare of Karlov of the Ghost Council. This was in one of the Commander precons. Whenever you gain life, put 2 1/1 counters on Karlov. Great in a life gain deck, but what's good about this as well, it's a great reprint as well, bringing the price down. It only costs 2 mana, so good as a commander, and it can come in there as a black or white. It also has an ability of remove 6 1/1 counters from Karlov and exile a target creatures. Now, if you've got lots of ways to make life gain with this commander deck, it would be really good, and you can just start using it as pseudo removal, removing those counters and then exiling creatures just for 2 mana and a tap. Really strong commander, and I'm glad that this one definitely got a reprint. Coming in at number 6 at 8/55 is another rare, and it's another one of the lands. Interestingly, these are all different prices, the lands. It is obviously because of the type of decks that they might go in, popular decks, unpopular decks. This one, obviously the Mountain Plains is the fetchable land, enters in the battle, pay the 2 life. If you don't, it enters tap. So you always get the choice with the shock lands, but I will say again that these are very powerful lands. Coming in at number 5 is Cloudstone Curio, a 3 mana artifact. Whenever a non-artifact permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you may return another permanent you control that shares a permanent with it to its owner's hand. At £8.60, this is another real print. This is a mythic card, and I've seen it. I've never really played with Cloudstone Curio, but the effect that it does does intrigue me. So if you've played with this any decks, let me know what type you put it in there. I'll be interested to know, and maybe I can pick up one of these now it's a decent price. Coming at number 4, we go for a shock clan. It's a shock. It's a Blood Crypt. Swamp Mountain, very popular colours of Rakdos, Swamp and Mountain. And now this is coming in at £9 and 3 pence. As I said to you before, they do come in at different prices, these. Generally, they were up to £10, £12 these. And you can get some of the different variations in the different arts for a couple of pound more. So if you want to pimp out your decks, these are the basic versions, but you can get, I've looked into it, you can get them for like £2 or £3 more. So if you think that's worth the extra artwork, and some of the art is absolutely beautiful, then I would suggest picking up the Blood Crypt. Same as coming in at number 3, the highest price land in there, £9.89 for Breeding Pool. Lovely, lovely card. My favourite colours is Simic. I play Tachiova in Commander, so this is very good for me. I've got a fair amount of breeding pools, but this is just under the £10, so roughly around $12 for our American friends or that have been watching this video. Still think that is a very good price. Gradually will go up a little bit, so this will hover around. Maybe this is the lowest you can get at the moment, but definitely worth picking up some of these shock clans. Coming in at number 2, and it's blue, it's Brovak, the Grand Delinquent. If you love Mill, you're going to want one of these cards. And this card comes in at $15.29, the second most expensive basic card in the set. Very good in all types of mill decks. It's a 1/4, sees plays in other formats as well. If an opponent will mill 1 or more cards, they mill twice that many instead. So great if you're doing a mass mill, doing like 20 mills, 30 cards. All of a sudden, it mills twice that many cards. It's a real game winner. Maybe a mono blue commander. Could you play it as that? Is there enough in mono blue? I tend to like to mix in other colours with it and not generally have this as my commander. I like mixing in maybe the Esper colours or make it Dimir, just because you add in great remove and protection for stuff like that. But Brovak, a much needed reprint, and is in at $15.29. So the top card, for me as a Blue Mage, Cyclonic Rift at 1978. And unfortunately, this was the rare that was upgraded to Mythic. I'm very sad that they did that. But Cyclonic Rift for 2 mana is just such a cool card. Very rage-inducing card for people that don't like it. Lots of calls for it to be banned in Commander. Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand, or you just overload that for 7 mana. So though we talk about ramp is easy in Commander, Cyclonic Rift, if you're playing a more blue type of deck, this kind of effect, you don't really have wrath effects. This is what the card that the blue players will always go for. It's good, very rarely used for the 2 mana, I must admit. It's always used for the overload. But what people don't like is that there's ways to bring it back. There's definitely cards in blue that you can bring it back to your hand. You can play creatures that then can recast it. And it's an effect that only affects your opponents as well. What can you say about it? It is a staple in Commander, and it is a great reprint, although still not cheap, still at 1978. I've seen this card rise way above that before, so probably a good time to pick up your Cyclonic Rifts, and if you want to pimp out your deck, you get some of those different arts. But all in all, I think it's a good card, and I'm very, very not surprised that it's the most expensive card in the set. So there's the top 10 cards from Ravnica Remastered. Will you be picking up any of these cards? Will you be buying any products? I'd be interested to know down below. It's a hard one for me whether I will pick up products. I mean, it is a remastered set, but unfortunately I have a lot of these cards already because I've been playing for, since Return to Ravnica. So that was a set that I really indulged in at the start, so I do have that. And obviously playing for that amount of time as well, you build up your collection. There is some cards in there that I don't have, so I'm probably going to pick up cards like Karlov and Brovak as well while the prices are okay. Or maybe potentially even if I can trade into them, be really good as well. But yeah, let me know what you think of it. Do you like the remastered sets as well? Let me know your thoughts on upgrading. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. But yeah, they wouldn't have downgraded one of the mythics like Karlov down to rare, would they? But you just, just the way Magic is at the moment. But it does affect the way you buy packs because roughly mythic rares are a lower percentage when you're buying them, which means then the Cyclonic Rift is slightly harder to pull. So there is those, those different types of percentages that go into when you're thinking about buying packs and the best cards in there. Singles is always the best way to do it, but there's a lot of fun in cracking packs without a doubt. So I just want to say thank you for all taking the time to watch this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Just a quick MTG Finance video as this new set has come out. If you want to support me, just press the like button, and that really does help circulate the video, and obviously leaving a comment does that as well. And if you enjoy the content, subscribing really does help out. If you want to go that bit further, I've got a Patreon just down below in the description. Check that out and become a Total MTG patron. Thanks for watching today's video. You lot take care, and I'll see you on the next one.